So you want to feel like there's no hope left in life, like whatsoever? Then I might have the movie for you. Coming Home in the Dark, Jesus Christ it's dark, is brought to us by director James Ashcroft and stars Daniel Giles, Eric Thompson, and Miriam McDowell. A schoolteacher is forced to confront a brutal act from his past when a pair of ruthless drifters take him and his family on a nightmarish road trip. So this movie gets off to a hell of a start. Yeah, it lets you know right off the bat, we ain't playing. I mean, seriously, in the first like 10 to 15 minutes of this movie, there are some parts that will have your jaw on the floor. You're just not expecting it. And when they happen, you're just like, oh shit, okay, that's where we're going? That's the kind of movie this is? Yes, that's the kind of fucking movie this is. There's some extremely tense moments in this movie that will make you want to look away from the screen for fear of what is about to come up. And I don't mean like monsters or anything like that, but you're fearful for what is going to happen to the people on screen. And the movie just takes its time. It's like these people toying with other people throughout the entire fucking movie. It's just, you're like a ball of tension. The vast majority of this movie is just like an exercise in being tense all the time. It's a fairly simple story, but the way that it's told lends an intrigue and mystery to it all that makes it worth seeing. They slowly feed us the story as it goes on in a very satisfying way. You want to know more of what's going on. It seems like this is just a fairly simple kind of like abduction kind of thing, but you find out as it goes on, of course, there is more to it. And you want to know what's going on. Why is this happening to these seemingly nice people? On the flip side of that, it is kind of exhausting at times. You're just kind of like, oh my god, when is this gonna end? And it's not in a bad way, it's just so non-stop. It starts and all the way to the fucking end of this movie, it is just non-stop. And you're like, oh my god, when is this gonna end? When are these people gonna get some type of like relief? End credits, that's when. I feel like the end of this movie is gonna be pretty polarizing. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. It was okay. Just not as satisfying as I would have liked. Now, I mean, it is very much in line with the rest of the movie, and I'm not really sure exactly what I would have liked, because if I had gotten a more traditional ending to the movie, I probably would have seen that as a negative compared to the way the rest of the movie is put together. So I guess I was okay with the ending. Like I said, I didn't hate it, but there was something about it that just didn't totally satisfy me. It doesn't just like leave you totally hanging or anything, so I'll give it that. I mean, it gives you some finality to it all. The performances here are all pretty good. Now, I mean, there's not a whole lot of characters in this movie, so we only get a few, but the ones that we got, they're all pretty good. McDowell and Thompson are just in like a constant state of fear, and they sell that shit. You believe it. Like I said earlier, it's kind of exhausting, and these characters look exhausted. They look like they're just ready to give up by the time you get to the end of the movie. Daniel Giles as Mandrake, our main antagonist of the movie, is just, holy shit, he's just fucking menacing as shit. He's one of those characters in a movie that you just don't know what the fuck he's gonna do next. He walks around talking to people with a real jovial tone, but you know he's about to do something really fucked up to somebody, and you just don't ever know when and what he's going to do. He's also one of those characters that will be real lighthearted and talking to people, and then like the next moment, like a split second, he's fucking evil as shit, just doing something god-awful and terrible. And Giles pulled that shit off just great. Like, this guy is just evil, or at least you think he is. That leads me to something else about this movie that I really like, and that's that you sympathize with all the characters, even the bad ones at some point in time in the movie. Nobody's closet is totally free of skeletons in this movie, and at some point in time throughout this entire thing, you will find something with each and every one of these characters, regardless of what they have or have not done, that you can sympathize with. Something where you look at them and say, you know, I kinda get where you're coming from. I don't necessarily agree with all of your methods, but I get where you're coming from. I understand why you're doing what you're doing. And that made the experience really interesting. That made the story all that more intriguing. Guys, Coming Home in the Dark, like I said, was a fairly simple movie, but holy shit, it's just a really affecting movie as well. Now you need to be ready because it unflinchingly does not offer much optimism whatsoever. But if you're prepared for that, then this movie is absolutely worth a rent.
All he wanted was this.
I have to return some videotape.
I don't know if I was ready for this movie when I watched it because it was pretty fucking dark. But if you're cool with really dark material, then check out Coming Home in the Dark one night, or at least during the day. I do it during the day when it's more light and there's some type of optimism out in the fucking world. But check it out sometime and I think you're gonna have a really interesting time with it. So there it is, guys, my review of Coming Home in the Dark. If you enjoyed and want more content like this, hit that subscribe button and help my little channel grow. If you want to help out the channel, check out my Patreon in the description below and become a jarhead and get some of the awesome benefits to go along with that, like these guys, and possibly join my top tier and become a bad motherfucker like my man Greg C and Dragon Con. If you liked what I had to say, give me a like. If not, let me know in the comments below why. And as always, stay sexy, Wellington.
Go, 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 go! Go!
So shit, man, I wasn't playing. This movie is really fucking dark. I kind of feel like I need some meds after watching it, because after seeing this thing, there's just not much hope for the future, at least within the world of this movie. So I kind of feel like I need to call a doctor and get some depression meds or something. Jesus! I need to watch like a fucking Pixar movie or something now.